Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Aviary, Attorney with yours truly, SlowWolf. Last time we did a lot of investigating and we found out some really neat stuff. We'll see how it plays out in court, but our friend, the one that we're defending, is not is not the Prince of Spain. His name is Ronald Volpez and he's the private investigator that the porcupine helped us out to find with the business card. We've also managed to pick up some flowers by Mademoiselle, who were brought to us by Mademoiselle Signa, and there's some very strange undertones going on, revolution and such, lots of unease stirring. So, yes, this should be interesting. Let's take a look at the actual goings on here. How many francs do we have? 45. Wow, we actually have a decent number. All right, let's go. Once again, Falcon and Sparrowson find themselves waiting outside the doors of the Tribunal du Grande Justice. Grande Instance. I just realized. It's the courthouse of the great instance. Interesting. Okay. Are you feeling nervous, Falcon? Nope, not really. I'm okay. Actually, I think we might have a handle on this case. All the pieces are coming together nicely. Awesome! Let's demolish that pompous prosecutor with walls of evidence! Ah, Senor Falcon, I trust everything is in order. Absolutely. I have every intention of bringing the truth to light in this trial. Ah, such confidence. That's magnificent to see. And bringing truth to light, you say. An admirable goal. No more jousting at imaginary giants. All of you cease your yammering, the door is opening. Here we go. Buena suerte, Senor Falcon. We will. Are we ready? We are ready. Alright, let's do this. I feel super confident. JJ! Sévérin. Nervous? Why would I be nervous? I'm not nervous. I'm as calm as a cuckoo. You're the nervous one. This whole courtroom is nervous. Wow, cool your feathers there, Falcon. Terrible. You can't even maintain a stoic facade. I thought this trial would be the perfect opportunity for you to redeem your previous embarrassments, but if this is how you act before the trial has even started, why, you pompous-tailed posture perfect. Yo, though. Order, order. Let's all settle down. Court is now in session. Psst. Falcon. What is it? Is it me, or does the primary judge look a little hairier today? That's a different judge to the one who resided over Dame Cataline's trial, you doofus. Oh, still, it's a little strange, isn't it? I'm gonna say yes. It is a little, I suppose. Excuse me, Your Honor. I was under the impression that Judge Maxime would be residing over this case. Where is he? Judge Maxime has gone on temporary sick leave due to a terrible accident with a flight of stairs. But rest assured, assessors, prosecutor, defense, and members of the jury, that I am more than qualified to fill his shoes. Without further ado, let's get this show underway. This is the trial of Prince Juan Querido, who stands accused of murdering Major Howell and of conspiring to murder the king himself. Roll call. The defense is present and ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Good. Very good. I expect this to be a nice, speedy trial. I don't want to see this dragged out by technicalities and bureaucracy. Well said, Your Honor. I expect that once the court sees the overwhelming evidence, this trial will be over in 5 minutes. 5 minutes? He's just messing with your head, Falcon. Keep it together. So, we're all on the same page? Excellent. Prosecutor, please call your first witness to the stand. Very well. I call the police officer who investigated the crime scene. I call upon Inspector Juste Valerity. Step up to the stand, Inspector, and recite the oath. Hey, bud. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear,
to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Please, recite your name and occupation for the court record.
My name is Inspector Just Valerdi. I'm a servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rat.
That will do, Inspector. We've all heard your monologue before. Wow, Cocorico is really going for a speed record, isn't he? Now, can you tell what you witnessed on the morning of the 7th of January?
Of course. At 10 o'clock in the morning, I was called...
Sorry, 10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock in the morning, I was called to the Louvre's Grand Gallery by one of the King's royal guards.
Did he just say o'clock?
There, I saw Prince Juan, King Louis Philippe, the corpse of Major Howe with a rose in hand, and around 24 citizens. The citizens and the king himself all test to see Major Howe taking the rose from Prince Juan's hand, and then promptly dropping dead.
And what did the morgue uncover upon examination of the corpse?
The coroner determined with absolute certainty that Major Howe died of poisoning. Aside from a prick to the finger, there's no sign of external harm to Major Howe's body. Therefore, the poisoned rose must have been the cause of death.
Putting the pieces together, that does seem very implicative of the prince. I have no further questions. Damn. I was hoping the coroner's report would determine that the guy died from a freak heart attack or something. That would make for a particularly speedy trial, wouldn't it? But no, we aren't so lucky. Something else must be amiss in the old bird's testimony. Right. I'll tear it apart. Your Honor, I wish to cross-examine the witness. Falcon, wasn't it? Don't waste the court's time. A high-ranking police officer would never lie on the witness stand. I wouldn't accuse the inspector of lying. I just want to make sure that every base is properly covered. This sounds like pointless nitpicking to me, but I'll allow it for now. Go on, Falcon. Do your cross-examination. Alright, select a statement to question. At 10 o'clock in the morning. O'clock? 10 o'clock, you say?
Correct. 10 o'clock.
I have no more questions about the inspector's clucking habit. Moving forward. He's a chicken. That explains. He's a chicken. I was called to the Louvre's Grand Gallery by a royal guard. There I saw Prince Juan, King Louis Philippe, and the corpse of Major Howe with a rose. Okay. Inspector, I would like to ask you about the victim, Major Howe. Who was he? It's curious. We've spent our whole investigation focusing on the murder, but I still don't know much about the victim himself. Exactly who was Major Howe?
He was a royal guard, a well-respected dog who was getting on in the years. I was not friends with the man, but I had met him on several occasions in the past, at banquets and royal meetings and the sort. Major Howe was a stern, no-nonsense fellow, but he was a good man. His wife and children no doubt miss him.
No doubt. Thank you for the insight, Inspector. Nah, not really. Let's take a look at the Facebook here. I don't even know how Major Howe looks like. There's the man. Oh, okay, fair enough. Poor guy. It's unfortunate for him. Oof. Okay. So we got a bunch of entries on our Facebook here, but... Alright, moving forward. Let's keep inspecting. Around 24 citizens. Inspector, you say that there were around 24 citizens, all of whom attest to seeing my client deliver the poisoned rose. Oh boy. When you put it like that, our situation seems a little dire, doesn't it?
Correct. We collected precisely 22 testimonies, and there were no major inconsistencies.
What exactly did they say? I would like some further details. What exactly did the testimonies say?
Each citizen attested to seeing the king and his entourage approaching in the new painting, the Grand Gallery. They each heard the king deliver a short speech, which was on the subject of progress and societal improvements and whatnot. There was some applause. Then, Prince Juan stepped out of the crowd and approached the king with a rose in his hand. Each person saw Major Howe take the rose from Prince Juan. Each person then saw the Major Howe promptly drop dead.
I see.
Some of the descriptions of the man's death were quite graphic. He convulsed, twisted, and spasmed. What was it, my witness? With his mouth frothed like he was a rabid lunatic.
Said another. Thank you, Inspector. I think we get the picture. Actually, Yes. Never mind. I have no more questions about the testimony of the citizens. Alright, poisoning. Inspector Howell, you say that the coroner determined with certainty that Major Howell was killed by poison.
Correct. He stated the signs and symptoms were textbook. There's no possibility that his death was natural.
What kind of poison was it? Did the coroner mention specifically what kind of poison it was?
He was not certain. At first, the coroner posited that it was a plant-borne poison like that of some kind of aconite flower. But when he learned how fast the poison had taken effect, he noted that this was atypical of aconite. Consequently, he suggested that there may have been some newly engineered concoction.
A newly engineered poison, you say? Well, that only reaffirms that this was a very deliberate assassination attempt.
Indeed.
Do you have another question about the poison? Yeah. How? How exactly was Major Howell poisoned? What was the delivery mechanism?
His finger was pricked by the poisoned rose. He even commented out loud about it, seconds before dying. All 22 citizens who witnessed the murder attested to seeing and hearing this.
Is there any possibility that he was poisoned by something else? What an absurd thing to ask, JJ. You just heard that 22 people saw the victim prick his finger and die. What are you suggesting? That the pricked finger had no relation to the poisoning? Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't doubt that Major Howell was poisoned, but I do doubt that the rose was the cause. Unbelievable. Only a total buffoon could fail to draw the blatant link here. JJ, as tempting as it is to sit here and lecture you on the basics of cause and effect, I'll end this discussion painlessly. Inspector, please tell the defense that you found traces of poison on the thorns of the rose itself. That should alleviate all doubt that the rose was, in fact, the poison delivery mechanism.
Actually, I can't tell him that.
I dread to ask, but why not?
We didn't check the rose for traces of poison. It just seemed obvious that the rose caused the poisoning, given the timing of the incident.
Well then, now would be a good time to make the test. Here's a marvelous thought. We prick the finger of the defendant with the rose. If there's no poison on the rose, then Prince Juan lives and he is free to go. If the rose is poisoned, then the prince dies. That's okay, because the punishment would be just and fitting of the crime. A marvelous suggestion. What is this, a witch trial? This isn't America, Severin. That's not how we do things here. Calm your feathers, JJ. It was clearly a joke. There are far more humane ways of testing for poison, and I'm sure the inspector will perform his duty with due diligence.
Actually, we won't be able to test the rose for poison at all.
Why's that?
Given the dangerous nature of the flower, it was destroyed by the police force. We burned it to ashes.
Such unprofessionalism. If we have no way to know whether the rose was poisoned, then this whole trial ought to be called into question. Nice try, JJ, but through the process of reasoning by elimination, we can still deduce with absolute certainty that the rose was poisoned. In other words, there was nothing else at the crime scene that could have caused the poisoning. Wrong. There was something else at the crime scene that could have been containing the poison, something the investigative police blindly overlooked. The chocolate wrapper? I mean, maybe? Maybe. Let's try it. Look at this. What exactly am I supposed to be looking at? It is the paper wrapper to a piece of chocolate. It was found in the Louvre, the Salle du Tibre to be precise, and we can date its consumption to the day of the incident. You're not suggesting that Major Howell ate a piece of poisoned chocolate moments before he died? I most certainly am. You gain a little favor with the jury. I like how the hippo is just kind of like sitting there. He's got his like, what is that in his mouth? Is that his tongue just kind of like sticking out? Or is that like a really fat cigar? I'm very confused. The other one that I really quite like in this whole picture, this guy right here. His face is just so austere. It's kind of awesome. And then there's this derpy guy in the back. Moving forward. Did you see this wrapper at the crime scene for yourself, Inspector?
The police force does not have the time nor resources to trawl every piece of trash at a crime scene, I'm afraid.
In other words, you overlooked it? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Astounding unprofessionalism.
The prosecution is right to be disgusted.
What disgraceful display, Inspector.
I offer my apologies, Your Honor.
I don't want apologies. I want you to do your damned job properly. Get off the witness podium before I kick you off myself.
As you wish. I'll take my leave. Until next time, messieurs.
I feel bad for him. Like, he legitimately is trying. So, you know, he's trying. He's doing his best. So, let me get this straight. This chocolate wrapper was found at the crime scene? Correct. And you have reason to believe that it was consumed on the day of the incident? I do. I have an expert food-tasting witness who is willing to testify if need be. You have a foodie witness? I don't recall anyone like that. Who on earth are you talking about? Oh, I see. But do you know for certain that Major Hal consumed this chocolate? Well, the fact that we are still investigating, you know, it's a fact that we're still investigating and we're doing our best. I see. And do you have any evidence that this chocolate was in fact poisoned? Again, that is something that may require a little bit more time to definitively prove. So then, in actuality, you do not have evidence that Major Hal consumed some poisoned chocolate. Instead, you have a solitary piece of rubbish that you plucked straight out of the gutter. That's weak. Even for you, JJ. Let's move things along. I have another witness I would like to summon. He is a man who claims to have had an excellent view of the people going in and out of the Louvre at the time of the incident. I would call upon Monsieur Toussaint Kingley. Could the witness please approach the stand and recite the oath? Oh God. What do I do? Do I just like... hold on, I'm gonna try a different voice. Hello? 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 Oh, right, the oath. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, and to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Please state your full name and occupation for the court record. My name is Toussaint Kingley, and I am a person who fishes. A person who fishes. So you are a fisherman. Oh! Is that how it is? Oh, I thought the French justice was better than this. I beg your pardon? Here comes Toussaint Kingley, the kingfisher. Clearly, he must be a fisherman, because you didn't hear. All kingfishers are fishermen. Well, you are carrying a fishing rod. And? Can a man not carry a fishing rod reel in bait without being branded a fisherman? Look! The prosecutor's carrying a riding crop. Clearly, you must be a horse jockey. Oh, for pity's sake. Fine. We can list your occupation to person who fishes and not fisherman. Thank you. Actually, why do you carry a riding crop, Séverin? I've never seen you ride a horse. Oh, I don't know, JJ. Why do you, a 30-something-year-old with no health problems, carry a cane? This is veering quite far off the course. Could the prosecution please get back to his questions? Of course, Your Honor. Mr. Kingley, is it true that you were nearby the Louvre at the time of the incident? Yes, I was sitting up on the railing of the Pont des Arts. The Pont des Arts. That's the new bridge that's just a stone's throw away from the Louvre's south entrance, correct? That's right. And what were you doing at the time of the incident? I was fishing. Kingfishers, am I right, Falcon? So you would have had plenty of opportunity to see the people who entered and exited the palace. Can you tell us who you saw? Well, the Louvre's a busy place. Naturally, I saw a lot of people. But at 9 a.m., I saw the king, Louis Philippe himself, enter the building. He was surrounded by his entourage, of course. Then around 9:30 a.m., I saw this shifty-looking fox looking around the entrance. Your Honor, I object to the witness's use of the term shifty-looking. It's a vague and biased description. No, really. He looked super shifty. I saw him rubbing his paws and cackling gleefully. And then I saw him take out a rose, and then carefully rub the stem. Rub the stem of the rose, you say? As if you were applying something to the flower, perhaps? Well, monsieur, I really shouldn't speculate. Of course. I'm sorry. It was wrong of me to ask such a leading question. But yeah, it definitely looked like he was putting some sort of powder on the stem. Wow! Even I wasn't expecting such a bold admission. Members of the court, it sounds like what we have here is a direct witnessing of the defendant readying the murder weapon. The defendant claims that the rose was never poisoned, and yet here we have a man who saw the poison with his own eyes. I smell perjury. You do? No question. He saw a shifty-looking criminal readying poison and cackling near the scene of a crime. That's not believable at all. I think you might be right. I wonder if I have any evidence that calls Toussaint's story into doubt. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Really? This nonsense again? You just heard the witness directly describe your client readying poison on a rose. What is there to question? I'm just trying to uncover the truth, Your Honor. Fine. Do your thing. Go on, Falcon. Make a fool out of yourself. Alright, Judge Romulus. What's your brother's name, Remus? Select a statement to question. Alright, well, we actually already know the answer to this one. Because this book is Prince Juan's. Renard it's Renard Vulpes's book. And page 44 was found in Tuileries Garden, which is the opposite side of the flippin' map. So we just gotta figure out how to get to that point. Let's see. That he's on the Pont des Arts does not bother me. King his entourage into the building, that's totally fine. Shifty looking... let's question it. Mr. Kingley, you claim that you saw a shifty looking fox.
Yup, super mega shifty.
Are you sure that the fox is Prince Juan? There must be at least 100 foxes in Paris. How do you know that the fox you saw was Prince Juan?
Well, he was wearing a suave hat thing low over his eyes. I hear that's how you wear them in Spain. And I'm not much of a fashion expert, but the rest of his outfit looked quite out of place for the French winter.
Is that all you're going by? His fashion sense?
Oh, I nearly forgot. I heard him call a passerby Senor. I thought that was peculiar.
Well, that's him, all right. You have another question about the shifty-looking fox? No. Powder? Mr. Kingley, you say that you saw a fox rubbing the stem of a rose.
Yep, saw it with my own 2 eyes.
How far away were you from the south entrance? 20 meters, perhaps? 30? I am somewhat doubtful that you can make out a powder being applied to anything at that sort of distance.
Monsieur, I don't claim to have seen the powder itself. I said it looked like he was applying powder to the flower stem. It could have been wax, or liquid, or whatever, but the guy was definitely putting something on the flower.
I see. Well, that's nice and vague. No. Pont des Arts, maybe. Maybe how we get to this is where his position was. Monsieur Kingley, you say that you were sitting upon the railings of the Pont des Arts on the morning of the incident.
Yep.
What entrances can you see from that bridge? Monsieur Kingley, you had a good view of the Louvre's south entrance, did you not?
Yep. The Pont des Arts is a great vantage point for seeing the ground gallery's south side.
What about the other entrances?
The other entrances? You mean like if you're entering from the Tuileries Gardens or the Place du Carrousel? No, I couldn't possibly see those areas from the bridge.
But of course, that isn't relevant. Mr. Kingley witnessed Prince Juan entering the south entrance with a flower in hand, and that is what counts. What if Prince Juan didn't enter from the south entrance? What if he approached the Louvre from Tuileries Gardens to the west? Tuileries Gardens to the west. That's a big what if. Do you have any evidence that Prince Juan entered the Louvre from the Tuileries Gardens? As a matter of fact, yes, I do. I have definitive proof that Prince Juan approached from the west, not the south.
Hey, I know what I saw, monsieur.
I am doubtful too. Go on, JJ. Show us this definitive proof that Prince Juan entered from the Louvre from the Tuileries Gardens. Boom. Look at this. A book page. Page 44 of Don Quixote, specifically. It was found just outside the Louvre's west entrance. This proves nothing. I'm not done yet. Take a look at this. Don Quixote. This is the book Prince Juan has been reading in jail since his arrest. I believe he has had it on his person for some time. And yes, page 44 is missing. That was the first thing I checked. You do realize what this means, don't you, Séverin? The defendant was present in Tuileries Gardens prior to entering the Louvre. This also means that, in all likelihood, the defendant entered the Louvre from the west entrance, not the south, and it could not possibly have been seen by Monsieur Kingley from the Pont des Arts.
What? I know what I saw, monsieur.
A fine theory, Falcon, but maybe the defendant took the long way around. One can still travel from Tuileries to the Louvre's south entrance by walking along the river. An extra 2 kilometers of walking just to enjoy the pre-murder scenery. Let's not say silly things, Cocorico. Okay. Maybe the defendant deliberately left the page there to mislead the investigation. Now you're the one who's blindly speculating. It's not blind speculation, it's a viable hypothesis. You are fond of logic, aren't you, Cocorico? Let's talk about Occam's razor. When torn between 2 seemingly equal hypotheses, we must side with the one that imposes the fewest assumptions. Which of these theories takes fewer assumptions? 1. The page from Prince Juan's book fell out on his way to Louvre's south entrance. 2. Prince Juan deliberately planted the page on the off chance that it would be discovered, and he took the long way around. How dare you? The nerve of you to lecture me on such basic philosophical concepts. I'll stop lecturing you when you stop making such basic mistakes.
Monsieur Falcon.
Please calm yourself. What is the point of all this yabbering?
The ultimate point is that Toussaint's testimony is fabricated, made up, utter fiction.
No! Everything I said is the truth!
I suspect the witness isn't even a fisherman.
I'm not a fisherman!
See, he admits it himself.
That's not what I meant!
What a twist. Innocent, perhaps. Oh. I just noticed this goat just is kind of like, why am I even here? And this dog has seen some shit. This bird has also seen some shit. It's pretty... I'm loving this.
Prosecutor, you have something that will put this arrogant falcon in his place, don't you?
I must concede.
You concede?
On this point at least, Falcon's evidence strongly suggests that the key component of Mr. Kingley's testimony is false.
No!
This doesn't mean that Prince Juan is innocent, of course. All Falcon has demonstrated is that this particular witness is unreliable.
But I did say something. I really did. Alright, so maybe I didn't exactly see a sifty-looking fox. I made that part of the story up. But I did see a swan looking around the south entrance on the morning of the murder.
A swan?
Do shut up, witness. Your word is mud at this point. How can we possibly trust anything you have to say?
Your Honor, Judge Romulus, we're out of time. We're 10 minutes overdue to start on the hare versus tortoise trial. Oh, it's amazing.
It's that late already. Curses. I was hoping we could have this case wrapped up in a single trial session.
It is a shame, but ultimately an accurate sentencing is always preferable to a speedy sentencing.
Yes, all right. I don't need to hear your moralizing. Court will resume this Friday, the 21st of January at 9 o'clock. Don't be late. Prosecutor, do your damned job. Get the stupid fox a conviction already.
I will do my best to ensure that justice is served. Your Honor. Oh, I came up in that trial, huh? Yeah, no doubt about that. But something's bothering me. Why would that fisherman guy, Mr. Kingley, lie on the witness stand? Maybe he was coerced. Like, that makes the most sense. Maybe he likes attention? Possibly. But coerced? Possibly. Well, it's possible that he was coerced or bribed. That's just what I was thinking. Maybe the real murderer threatened the fisherman into making up a story about Prince Juan. Let's keep an open mind. Anything is possible at this stage. But to be perfectly honest, something else is bothering me about the trial. Seriously? This guy. I hate... The judge is weird, man. Judge Romulus. He's acting without a shred of professionalism. He's obviously more interested in securing a guilty verdict than he is in discovering the truth. But why? Maybe he has a vendetta against Spanish royalty. I'm not so sure. There must be something else at work here. Excuse me? Excuse me, Mr. Falcon. Oh, it's you!
Sorry to bother you, but this letter just arrived. I think it's for you.
A letter? For me? I wonder why it wasn't sent to my office.
Have you been demoted to courier status, Rupert? Oh, hush, Sparrowson. I don't need to be pitied by the first-year dropout.
Oh. Good comeback.
So what does the letter say, Falcon?
It's a threat. A threat made with cut-out newspaper letters.
Whoa! I didn't know those things actually existed. Let me see. Falcon, stop your investigation or there will be consequences.
Scary. There's no question that this letter originated from Major Howell's murderer. He, or she, must be aware that we are getting close to uncovering the truth.
Sounds about right. But why would a person write with cut-out newspaper letters like this?
Masking one's handwriting would be the most common reason. Although I can't help but wonder why they would bother since we don't have any handwriting samples to compare it to.
We're still going ahead with our investigation though, right? Well, yeah. Now we definitely are. We're gonna find this guy. We're gonna nail him. We're gonna jail him. It's gonna be great.
Oh yes, absolutely. If a lawyer were deterred every time they received a threatening letter, they would never get any work done. Besides, with only 3 days before the next trial session, we can't afford to be worrying about petty little things like this.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wow, you're right. Let's make those days count.
Yeah, we have to. But that's it for the first part of this case. yeah, that's it for the first part of this case. So we're going to go ahead and call it here for this episode. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I know I sure did. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see some more stuff like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one.